Welcome to Subramani. These days, many people approach me asking whether I am a financial planner. I am not. In fact, even on television, I get described as a financial planner. It doesn't really matter, but I am not a financial planner. So the question is, what does a financial planner do? Or what if he does? Should you call him or her a financial planner? This is not something which people know. So first of all, a financial planner has to sit with you for pretty long hours to make a financial plan, and a financial plan starts with goal setting. And believe me, goal setting is very difficult because most people do not know what are their goals. Saying I need 5 crores by the time I want to retire is it's too vague. It is just a wishful statement. If you are already 55 years of age, you have 1 crore and you have 4 years in which to retire, and you have no other assets which is going to contribute to that 5 crore. But it is a very, very doable thing. If you are 32 years of age and you are willing to set aside 10, 15, 20,000, 50,000, whatever, growing at 5% or 10%, very much doable, right? So first of all, sitting with you, taking note of all your needs, your desires, your wants, your dreams, right? Taking into account all that, then making sure that he or she understands your cash flow, your P&L and your balance sheet. That is where you are, where you want to go, and what is the cash flow available for that journey. Sitting with you and creating all that and then making a plan for you is what a financial planner does. This financial planner also should be able to somewhat assess your risk profile, the need to take risk, whether you are supporting your parents, how much of medical insurance you have, what are the perks which are available on in your job. For example, there is a group where if you have completed 15 years service in that group at a pretty senior level, they give you an extra pension. That extra pension itself means around when you're let's say you joined this group at the age of 40 and now you're 55. At 55 you don't want to consider shifting jobs because the pension is really attractive. Now so you have to understand all this. You have to also, the financial planner has to understand all this. The financial planner has to understand that some companies can give lifelong medical cover. And if you have been an employee of Air India who thought that, oh, I've got lifelong cover, you have to be worried that some great, noble, fantastic new promoter can come and take away that medical cover. So if you're a 70-year-old Air India employee who was dependent on the Air India medical cover, bad news for you, you've just lost it. You will no longer get that medical cover. Can you get fresh medical cover from somewhere else? Maybe, maybe not. But these are all things which have to be considered. The financial planner has to tell you, look, you're 55, your company is giving you this lifelong medical cover, which sounds fantastic on paper, but if this company were to be taken over, if some change of management or something happens, they can revoke it. This is not some government guaranteed medical cover that you have for the rest of your life. You could lose it, right? So preparing you for such stuff, telling you the truth, telling you pretty bluntly what can happen, what can't happen, making a comprehensive plan, giving it to you, signing off and saying, this is how you will be investing, this is what you will do, this is what if you do, you will achieve your short-term goals, this is what you have to do to achieve your long-term goals. And that complete document is what is called a financial plan. Is it necessary? For most people, no, they don't think it is necessary. They don't think any one person needs to have a full view of their life, and they make those classic investment plans. They go ahead and then they realize that they did not have adequate insurance. I know, I saw a person who had made a will where he had given away, he was giving away after his death to all his money to his wife and daughter, which sounded very good. He had one daughter, but it had not taken into account the fact that his mother was alive, right? This guy was 54 when he made the will. His mother was alive. His mother was financially independent. He was also the only son. He was not supporting her, but he was looking after her money. He was managing her money. And I said, why is there no mention of your mother in this? So he said, my mother is independent. She's not dependent on me. I said, that's fantastic, but did the lawyer ask you about your mother? He said, no. He assumed that my mother is dead. I said, that's the problem, right? So somebody who is a financial planner should be able to think through that. I mean, if I am making a will and I know my mother does not need the money, that's great, but I may still want to say something in my will about my mother, saying my mother is alive, she's staying here, she has her own wealth, but in case she needs money and I am dead, my wife should support, right? Something like that in the will. Is it useful? Yes, it's useful. Do lawyers think about all this? Very rarely. Right, lawyers don't even identify you properly. It would just be IPV Subramaniam, whereas I think a will should say IPV Subramaniam, PAN number so and so, Aadhaar number so and so, or passport number so and so, son of so and so, living here. Right, that is a much better way to identify, because what if somebody says this is not this PV Subramaniam, this is somebody else, the signature has been forged. Any of these things are possible, right? So making this, saying, okay, I'm handing over this document to so and so for safekeeping, a copy is lying with my wife and one copy is with my daughter, saying all that is also important, right? So somebody who is able to understand the whole process of need not know how to draft a will, but needs to know the process of making a will, right? So somebody who thinks of all this very comprehensively is necessary. This person need not be a good investment manager. As long as he is able to find you a good investment manager, that is good enough. He may not understand which share to buy and which share not to buy. For that, he could find you a PMS manager. So he could find you a PMS manager. He could even find you an investment advisor if he thinks he is not good. But to be able to find which mutual fund to invest, etc., he may be good at it. That's good enough. He is not a good investment manager. He is able to find you a good investment manager. That is what you look for in a financial planner. So why do so many people claim to be financial planners? Well, it is simply to sell higher end products, and products which you may not need, right? But if it's part of a financial plan, it looks like, wow, it's part of a financial plan, so I need to take a ULIP, I need to take a pension plan, I need to take a child plan, right? Everything can look very legitimate in a financial plan. That could be the reason why they ask for the claim to make a financial plan. So somebody who should be able to who should gather all your details, all your assets, liabilities, your income, your expenses, cash flow statements, understand what you're doing, understand how much is the EMI balance, understand that you may want to buy a second house, maybe a vacation house, maybe a house abroad. So knowing what is the procedure, understanding what you want to do, understanding what your spouse wants to do, understanding what your children's requirements are, all this is necessary. Whether you're going to have more children, if you're 32 years of age and you have one kid, one important question is, are you planning to have a second kid, right? If you're already 55 years of age, yes, that second question does not arise. But I know of 50, he must now be 62, 63, two sons, both doing very well, and then this man wanted a daughter. He has adopted a daughter. He looks much older than the daughter is. I mean, it looks more like a grandfather, because he has adopted this kid when he was 54 years or 54 years of age. I said, but that puts a lot of risk for that kid. He said, no, both my sons have underwritten all her future expenses, including her education, marriage, etc. So I said, why this decision? He said, look, I have money. My children don't need the money. And it is nice to pick up this kid and make her a better human being. So I could have easily gone to a orphanage and sponsored a kid, but I decided to do this. So right, these kind of people do these kind of things. I mean, it's a very noble thought, but yes, there are people who will do those kind of things. Confirming all the perks that you're getting, making sure that it is written down, making sure that you know what you're doing, right? So all that is important part of a financial planner. Check out whether the financial planner knows all that, your asset allocation, how you are comfortable with, and why when it goes too much favoring equity, you may not be comfortable, or maybe you're comfortable only about 60-65% equity, the balance you want in debt and gold. Fine, he or she has to understand all those requirements, right? He has to look at your tax return and find out whether you would do with current income or you're better off with capital gains. Not all not all investment advisors or financial planners understand taxation. So do you need to defer your income? If you are supporting your parents, should you give them capital instead of giving income because you're going to pay tax? Saving money in your children's name, creating an association of persons, or if your HUF is not well funded, why not fund the HUF, right? So all the tax implications of your investments also he has to consider. If he does not know, he has to ask a tax advisor as to what all he should be doing, right? So asking the other experts is also important. He should also make sure that he just not checking your nomination, but making sure all the nominations are right. So I keep saying this, if your name, if let's say your spouse is Pooja and she's a Pooja Patel, and her father's name is Ramakant, so then all the names should be Pooja Ramakant Patil or Pooja Ramakant Patel, whatever, right? So the full name, Pooja R Patel or Pooja R Patel is different from Pooja Ramakant Patel, right? So all this is important in your documentation. Not everybody understands this. So somebody who has to understand all this, incorporate all this, all properly nominate. If you have got shares which are in single name, make sure you demat it, right? It takes 2.5 lakhs to make a succession certificate, and if you have shares worth 50,000, it's not even worth it. Unless you have shares worth 7-8 lakhs, it's not worth making a succession certificate, right? So after all this, if this person makes you an investment recommendation based on his or her own past experience, or using an investment advisor because he's not very confident, that guy is doing financial planning for you, or that girl is doing financial planning for you. Otherwise they are just masquerading as financial planners to sell you some other product. Do all clients need such a comprehensive plan? Maybe not. Maybe they are not even willing to sit through such sessions. That is different. That's your call. But these are all services which a financial planner should provide you. I don't want to get into what should be a reasonable charge. I think for putting in these kind of effort, there is going to be a charge. It's not going to be free. So if he says he's doing it free, you need to smell a rat. Thank you.